All right, everyone. So this is rolling now. Should be premiering on YouTube. For those of you on the other platforms, you'll be seeing it thereafter. But I am not going to be on camera because I'm getting ready to head out the door. So I'm going to be wrapping this up really, really quick. So I just wanted to give a quick word. I don't have a top comment per se this one because I addressed almost all of them in a previous video where I was addressing all the comments. But for all of you that have supported me along the way, thank you so much. 2 million subscribers, thank you so very much. This is my website, www.thinkssegovia.com. This is the hub of everything that I do, including shows and podcasts that don't make it anywhere else. You'll find it here. I'm going to do a kind of introduction, who is Andres kind of episode for all the newbies out there. So stay tuned for that. But until then, I want to make this really quick because I want to address one topic and one topic only on this one. And it is with reference to what PayPal announced this week. And that is with respects to partnering up with the Anti-Defamation League to fight extremism and protect marginalized communities. So while all that sounds fine and dandy, everybody knows that there's a lot more on this, and particularly with PayPal and how much they basically permeated all these financial institutions and merchant services. This is a concern because of who the ADL also are. Now, there is things here that through the collaboration, PayPal and ADL have launched a research effort to address the urgent need to understand how extremist and hate movement throughout the US are attempting to leverage financial platforms to fund criminal activity. The intelligence gathering through the research initiative will be shared broadly across the financial industry and with policymakers and law enforcement. The thing is, PayPal already has a shaky ground when it comes to how they conduct themselves, and the Anti-Defamation League is staunchly left-wing, and seeing what happens today without these two being partnered up was already in a way intolerable. Now them combining forces to basically dox those that they don't like and disagree with, to basically upend their ability to make e-commerce or even make a living, that is concerning. Now, of course, if there's actual criminal activity, then yes, go after that and report it. But the question is, who is defining this activity when both PayPal and the Anti-Defamation League have shown that they tend to be considerably left-wing and have been used as political weapons to target the right wing? So that doesn't come across as something that's meant to fight extremism and protect marginalized communities. It sounds more like the continual weaponization of politics and political differences to basically cancel the other one out. Earlier this year, this made the rounds. This is from Fox Business. PayPal says it's blocked Christian crowdfunding site Give, Send, Go, and they also removed an event organizer, Ali Alexander. I'm not familiar with Ali, but the point is that they also blocked him. This was shortly after the January 6th riots, so you would think, well, yeah, that kind of makes sense because perhaps they were involved in some way, somehow being able to fly people out there. Doesn't mean those people that were there were part of the riots. They just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, kind of thing. But the point is that some people might look at this and say, well, yeah, that's justified. Well, the thing is, now, if for any of us that have been around long enough know that PayPal has had a history of basically making their consumers guilty until proven innocent when they freeze accounts. And for anyone that has dealt with this, you know that basically all the onus is on you to prove yourself either the victim or it wasn't your fault. Either way, PayPal continues to hold this stuff against you. And this is a Reddit thread from even back in 2013, as it shows here. So this is from 9 years ago. So it's not like, oh, this recently that PayPal's doing this. No, this was making the rounds too, where there was this company, Kryptom, and let me define it right now. This is how they're defined. They are a 501 private foundation created in 1996 by John Young and Deborah Natsios. I think I said that right. And sponsored by Natsios Young Architects. The site collects information about freedom of expression, privacy, cryptography, dual-use technologies, national security, intelligence, and government secrecy. So what that all they do, I'm not entirely sure, but the point is they're a private company, and I guess they had they crossed paths or they rubbed Microsoft the wrong way. So PayPal froze the Krypton account. We have reviewed your PayPal account, and due to the excessive risk involved, we would like to begin parting ways in the manner that will be least disruptive to your business. So this is from back in 2010, March 6, 2010. Again, it's not anything new the way PayPal has behaved. This from Computer World. PayPal, a dictator of e-commerce, September 6, 2012. So there's an entire article that goes into all this. I've dealt with being on the bad side of PayPal because they said I did something right and I had to prove that I was right, and they unfroze my account. That was about 10 years ago, and I never had a run-in with them ever again. I deal with PayPal, eBay. I do use PayPal as merchant services for a bunch of other things, but that's just the thing, that PayPal has become integrated with a lot of checkouts. And if you nowadays, with how polarized everything has become, if you're crossing paths with somebody you shouldn't, you could lose your ability to do e-commerce as well, to disrupt your livelihood. And of course, there'll be some that say, well, you don't like it because private companies are able to do this, why don't you make your own? Well, it just so happens that Dan Bongino also made an alternative to PayPal. But this shouldn't be something we have to do. Why? Because, well, look what happened to Parlor earlier this year. After the investigations, it was found that the organizations that organized the groups back in the for January 6th, they had nothing to do with Parlor. They just happened to be on Parlor. They organized themselves through Facebook, but it was Parlor that got the platform simultaneously, disappearing from the App Store on Apple and Google. Their lawyers abandoned them basically at the same time when Amazon Web Services pulled the plug and all the data was gone. But if you're saying, okay, go ahead and make your own thing. Oh no, but now you're an echo chamber. You're a danger. Well, who is defining these things? That's the problem. That words don't mean anything anymore. There's no such thing as bipartisanship anymore. That's why this story of PayPal partnering with the ADL is of concern, because everybody knows this is going to be used to be weaponized to take out political opponents and those they don't agree with, and maybe even further than that. We don't know yet, but it's more likely than not. And that's all I want to say on that issue. So here's my teaser about an episode that's coming up. I do an interview to discuss the big tech oligarchies, and my goodness, it all lined up properly. Now, for those of you that have expressed, and I feel the same way, that I have not done enough or as much of any reviews for tech, that's, if you've been around long enough, you know that's been the case, because my show is real estate centric with tech involved in it, and I'm trying to do more tech talk and things like that. I'm hoping to get back into the sway of reviews, but there hasn't been anything that comes my way that interests me to do so. I don't have any of these companies sending me things. In fact, I actually turned some of them down because they're actually wanting some kickbacks along the way, like a positive review and all like that. I'm an idealist. I don't have sponsors. I'm not going to let these companies buy me off. I'm not going to do it. So that's why I don't do reviews of products or services per se. Only things that I actually use on a day-to-day, whether I like it or don't, I chime in about it. But mostly I chime in about real estate, and July has been a very tech-heavy month, so I emphasize on tech, and expect August to be more back into real estate / Save California, and possibly covering the Samsung event, because I am interested in the Samsung event. But anyway, that's it. That's where I'll leave it. Thank you so much. You know where to find me, www.segovia.com, for anything and everything. Follow me across the socials. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.